This video is proudly sponsored by Gamersgate. Download games anytime, anywhere. Visit Gamersgate.com.
Welcome to Elder Geeks Elder Speak. Today is Tuesday, July 10th, 2012. My name is Randy Yasenchak, the editor of ElderGeek.com. With me on the show today, I have one of the staff writers, Justin Johnston. Welcome back to the show, buddy.
We are returned.
Yeah. After a long period away, I swear, I really just want a week of my life to be normal, because it went baby, and then normal, and then baby hospital, and then normal, and then power outage. And now hopefully back to normal, and I'm seriously ready for like just a 2 or 3 week stretch where just no shit happens at all.
I think that's wishful thinking, sir.
Did you get hit by the power outage at all?
No, thankfully, I did not.
Lucky. Today on the show, we're actually going to be talking about the Assassin's Creed movie that's going to be coming out. We will be chatting about Ghost Recon, Future Soldier, and Blacklight Retribution. That's the correct name for that, right?
Yep, that is.
And, of course, just the general health of shooters as well. So let's actually get started on the Assassin's Creed movie. You've seen the snippet for this, yes? Or at least the press release that was put out, or the story, I should say, that was in Variety?
I haven't really heard any story. I heard the announcement that Michael Fassbender is going to star in it, and I loved him in X-Men First Class and Prometheus, so I am excited, but maybe there's some side of this I haven't heard. So
well, that's basically it. I mean, it's that he's going to be starring in it, but he's also co-producing it, which that kind of makes me a little bit worried. That whole co-producing kind of thing. It's like you get to star in your own pick, son, and you get to produce it as well. You know?
Yeah, because nobody wants to touch it.
Yeah, exactly. And also, it's like it's a video game movie, man. This is beaten path here. Even though Assassin's Creed actually has a really good storyline, and I think it would translate well to a movie, I don't think anybody in Hollywood right now has the time or the patience to be able to put together a good Assassin's Creed movie. I think it would be better off as a mini-series on television, almost.
I think I agree. The one thing I am a little miffed about, not really the fact that it's a video game movie. Honestly, I really don't go to the movies to see video game movies anyway. The one thing I'm kind of miffed about is they're giving it the whitewashing treatment like they did with The Last Airbender.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean like visual effects wise?
No, I mean racially casting the movie as primarily white people. I'm going to just assume that since they've announced Michael Fassbender, who's a white dude, great actor, is the main character, I assume he's either going to be... I don't know if they're going to go directly following the games, but one of the things the game...
it follows people of mostly of non-white descent, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Mostly. Except for Ezio in his Italian adventures. I see what you're saying, and that could be a pain in the ass. And really, I'm hoping, and this will be what will save the movie if they're smart enough. If they're smart, they won't do anything at all with the storyline that's put out in video games at all. If they're smart, they would make it a branching off storyline that will be supplementary to the movies. That will still be counted as Dogma, but not Ezio, not Altair, and not Desmond.
I hope you're right, because I don't think Michael Fassbender really fits what the game was going for in exploring different times, different places with, a character who, he has a crew cut, but he's not a big white buff space marine and gruff and all that jazz. So.
Yeah. Do you, oh shoot, I totally forgot what I was going to ask you. Oh well. Are you a fan of Assassin's Creed?
Not as much as you are.
Were you a fan of any of them?
Yeah, I really did enjoy 2. I played a little bit of Brother Pals, but not much.
Yeah, I mean, Brother Pals was really just more of 2, but with, some nifty new mechanics and the big open map as opposed to, lots of tiny little maps.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, that was really it. But you know what? Let's actually move on, because everybody's going to be talking about Assassin's Creed, and everybody's going to be making assumptions about the movie, and it's really too early to make any assumptions. But I will put my money down on it sucking. Like right now, I'm going to put my bet on the sucking portion. Like if there's the two bets of not sucking and sucking, I'm betting on sucking.
That's not exactly a Nostradamus-like prediction.
But everybody's going to get all excited about it. But you and I were actually chatting earlier over text about basically the future of shooters, and the both of us are actually playing two different shooters. Right now, you're playing Blacklight, which I thought you were going to be doing it for a video review, but I'm not sure if you're going to be doing a video review for it anymore. And I'm actually playing Ghost Recon Future Soldier with Patrick. Patrick's doing the video review for that. I'm just kind of playing it with him to do the co-op. And well, let's first hear your thoughts on Blacklight Retribution.
Okay. I was really, really excited when Steam kind of got hit with this wave of free-to-play games. They have Tribes Ascend on there, Dungeon Fighter.
They even put Lord of the Rings Online on there, too.
Really? I didn't even see that one.
Mm-hmm.
But they have all these free-to-play games. I don't want to think it's in lieu of having the summer sale. Possibly.
No, I don't think it's in lieu of it either, but that actually branches off onto a whole other conversation that you and I had about Steam. But let's try to stay focused on topic. Blacklight.
Blacklight. I saw the trailer for it, and it is... As soon as I saw it, I was like, this can't be a free-to-play game. It looks like a multi-million... I'm sure it was a multi-million-dollar effort on behalf of the studio... So I should probably... Perfect World? Is that the studio, or was it Zombie?
Blacklight Retribution is published by Perfect World and developed by Zombie Inc.
Zombie, okay. So, Zombie Inc., which I'm sure this is probably one of their... they did the Blacklight for the PlayStation that we took a look at a while ago, right?
Yeah, and I gave it a decent review. I said that it was... you're going to find better games out there for the price, and I was right. People flocked to it immediately, and they played it for a little bit, but nobody really stuck with it. Most people went to their Battlefields and their Call of Duties in the end.
Well, that's the thing. Like Blacklight, what they're trying to do with this one is do the free-to-play model, as I said, one of the batch of free-to-play games that's at Steam. And they've kind of turned it on its head. I'm going to try and explain this as clearly as I can, but this is hella confusing, and there's kind of a barrier. It's their free-to-play system. There are effectively three forms of currency in this game. One is the in-match currency that you use to purchase upgrades, a la Counter-Strike. You earn money as you play the game. You buy cool upgrades.
Okay.
Then there's the in-game money and the real money. And you can use your in-game money and your real money to unlock items. But the thing is, you can pay, say, like $5 to unlock this really tricked-out gun. Or you can pay $5 to unlock it permanently. Or you can spend 25 cents and have it for 24 hours.
Okay.
So that really lowers the barrier to getting people to spend money. If they say, I can throw $1 out there, and for today I can have, really good gear.
And actually play the game how it probably should be meant to be played if you wanted to really invest your time into it.
Exactly right. And some of the stuff is still gated by level. Most of the equipment is. So you do have to invest time in it. You can't just start up an account, put $1 into it, and totally waste everyone in the game. But it still irks me, and this is why I'm hesitant to do a review, that someone who puts $1 into the game that given day will have a massive advantage over someone who did not put real money into it.
Yeah, that is kind of a pain in the butt. Now, let me ask you this: Can people that don't pay money, can they eventually earn credits through the game, even if it takes them a month to be able to get the in-game credits to be able to buy permanent additions to their guns?
They definitely can. Obviously, it wouldn't really work if you could only buy. Well, I'm not going to say anything about certain other games that have become free to play and require you to spend money on them. But yeah, you can play the game for a fairly significant amount of time. Honestly, is required to unlock a decent weapon. So say I earn about, in a 15-minute match, you'll average about $200 in-game dollars. And it'll cost, so that's about $800 an hour. It'll cost about $5,000 to $6,000 to unlock permanently a decent weapon in-game.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do the math, that's like 5 or 6 hours. Or 7 or 8 hours, I'm sorry, because I'm good at math. Like 7 or 8 hours to unlock, a good item. And the thing is, you don't unlock... The whole thing is about customization. There aren't really preset guns. You buy the parts.
Right.
And you assemble them together. And you have like a receiver that basically turns your gun into a submachine gun or a light machine gun. And you just stick a magazine, a barrel...
like a special tack scope and all that kind of fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do they do the keychains like they did on the original
yes,
Blacklight?
Sir.
They do?
I have a Lucky Charm, a four-leaf clover. On my gun.
Nice. Now tell me about the mech suits.
The mech suits are amazing. I was telling you this earlier. The only thing I can really compare this to... I thought of another example, by the way, after we spoke. Getting a helicopter... Excuse me. Getting a helicopter in Modern Warfare 4... Or, I just thought of this, being the tank in Left 4 Dead versus mode. The thing is, you don't even really need that much in-game cash in round cash. This is one of those upgrades that you can purchase
to
inside a match with the points you accumulate inside a match. So you get 1,300 points in a match, which is not hard to do. And you go to one of the stores that's scattered around the map, and you buy a mech suit. And you destroy people in this mech suit. It is amazing. But you are not invulnerable. Like, a single RPG shot can kill you.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, instead of doing like a video review, would you be comfortable when doing like a video overview? So you would like almost forego too much judgment, but still, like, and saying like, because it clearly wouldn't work as well with even our rating scale of saying like worth buying, worth trying, because if it's free to play, then that completely,
right, it invalidates our system,
It totally does. It completely invalidates our system. But would you be comfortable in doing just like a video overview and like just giving your 2 cents on what you think that the game's flaws would be and what its triumphs are, to like at least let people know what they could be getting into before they dump a whole bunch of time or possibly a couple of bucks into it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the purpose of doing these types of reviews or features even is just to draw attention to the game and see if it's something people will be interested in. So
yeah,
I kind of have to reserve judgment to an extent because it is free. Like, it's free. You can go download this 5 gigabyte game and play it for free. So, I mean...
So it automatically gets a worth trying because it is free. I mean, the game has to be like a total pile of crap to pull a don't bother if it's free to play,
Yeah. And I can think of examples. Not going to name names, Rise of the Immortals.
Rise of the Immortals? I don't think I played that one, but that sounds familiar.
It's a League of Legends, Dota type
game.
That's all that needs to be not said, because I'm not criticizing it.
There's going to be like Rise of the Immortals fans pouring out of the gates to stomp you. So that's what's going to happen. But I've been playing like I said, Ghost Recon Advanced. Or I'm sorry, Ghost Recon Future Soldier.
Yes,
it's not Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 3. It's not Ghost Recon 6 or whatever.
Techie Soldier Man 6.
Yeah, it is a whole new beast. So people who are expecting it to be the next Graw or the next just standard Ghost Recon game are going to be like sadly disappointed because it's not as tactical as past Ghost Recons. I would put this as Splinter Cell Conviction 4-player co-op.
Right, that's what it really seemed like, because Conviction it's a blast to play. I'm not going to tear it down. It's fun to play. But it takes the stealth tactical gameplay and it kind of turns it into an arcade shooter.
Exactly. Ooh, you know what? Probably the best way to put it would be Left 4 Dead crossbred with Splinter Cell Conviction.
Mm-hmm.
That's it right there. Because you even if one of your buddies falls, you can go over and you can pick them up just like you do in Left 4 Dead, and you have a certain number of falls before you're completely permadead. But there's no safe rooms or anything like that where they come back or anything. If you have a buddy die, you go back to a checkpoint. But it is very, very arcadey. So people who are expecting it to be anything like the old Ghost Recons, where it's a very tactical, slow-paced, kind of methodical, and very intentional shooter, they're going to be really disappointed by that. But I don't know. I'm enjoying it because it is a very fun co-op game, but I am disappointed in the fact that it's not the next real Ghost Recon game. I hate to say that term. It's not the next real Ghost Recon game, but it's nothing like the old Ghost Recon game. And that's the part that like really bugs me. It's the fact that all of these games are, and this actually leads into our topic for later on, the future of shooters. Is this just like shoehorns Ghost Recon into the every other shooter kind of genre?
Exactly. You know? It's a convergence of all the different genres of shooters: tactical shooters, military shooters, simulations like Arma or Operation Arrowhead, I think it was called, into this one very narrow, very profitable genre of shooters that Call of Duty's become, Battlefield has become, where it's a multiplayer-focused experience. There's a lot of paid DLC. It's an engine to create a longer product life cycle by charging for DLC
and maps and skins and guns and all that other kind of crap.
And it's
go ahead.
It's the extinction of a lot of many really classic genres of shooters, because if you look at it, these big AAA studios are the only ones making these shooters because they require an incredibly huge budget. So if they aren't making these tactical shooters anymore, then it's a hell of a lot more challenging for a small studio to make a really quality title like the old Ghost Recons.
Yeah. And the people who appreciated the old Ghost Recons there aren't enough of us out there to buy the game on release day, for them to be able to turn up a profit and be like, yep, okay, we made enough money to make a sequel to this or make a more games like this. Instead, it's the Call of Duties and it's the Battlefields that are the profitable ones, and so companies are turning their games into Battlefields and Call of Duties and Gears of Wars to be able to just turn a profit. And here's the problem with that. There's so many of those games on the market right now, literally so many of them, that if the game has anything close to just a slight flaw in it, like any other game where you're just be like, all right, you can get over the load times. But if one of these games comes out and the load times is unbearable, I almost can't even say that it's worth buying. Because it's like, why would you waste your time with that? There's so many of these other games out there on the market. Clearly there's going to be a ton that are better,
Yeah, and if you don't, God help, I love fans, I hate fanboys, because if there's one little flaw, it gives the fanboys the excuse to say, oh, well, COD is better, or Battlefield is better.
Right. And in a sense, they would almost be right. Because there's so many of those shooters on the market, why would you even waste your time with something that's less than perfection when for the same price you could be getting something really damn close to perfection? And I'm not doing the review for Ghost Recon Future Soldier, and I'm actually really, like I said, I'm really enjoying it. It's probably a little too easy for my tastes, even though, like, in the gameplay that you're going to be watching, you're going to be seeing me die a few times. But I'm kind of playing like a little bit of a jackass. I'm kind of rushing forward. There's portions of this game where they force you to fight, and that kind of mentally, it breaks my brain for a Ghost Recon game. In my mind, I should always have the option to be able to sneak around and handle the entire situation stealthily. But it kind of breaks my brain that Ghost Recon has become this. And there was actually something else I wanted to say about that, and I totally went off track. But anyway, so I'm actually enjoying Ghost Recon so far. But because of the flaws that it actually has, it does have really terrible load times. The Ubisoft servers suck, and you need to be on the Ubisoft servers if you're going to be playing it on PC. They suck. It is really poorly optimized for the PC.
I mean, couldn't get it running, FYI.
You couldn't get it running. My PC is a bear, and I have to turn down a bunch of the stuff to medium just to get it to run smoothly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I run Skyrim with all the graphics mods that turn it into a total system hog. I don't have any trouble running anything at high settings. Witcher 2, anything.
Yeah, Witcher 2, Battlefield 3, all on max settings. But this game, I gotta drop a bunch of stuff down to medium just to get a decent frame rate.
And that's not because it looks fantastic. That's because it's very poorly optimized.
Very poorly optimized. Now, people are say, "Oh, we'll play it on console." I don't like to do shooters on consoles. Shooters on consoles, I know that the Xbox 360 controller is a really nice controller for, like, say, Gears of War and all that kind of crap. But to be honest with you, the mouse and keyboard is always going to be a superior control system for first-person shooters. It always will be.
I'm not going to throw myself into the PC Master Race argument here.
I'm not even saying PC Master Race crap. I'm just saying if I have the option of playing something on PC versus console.
Right. It's your choice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my choice. I have all consoles, which, by the way, I replaced my PS3. I have all consoles, and I have a PC, and to be honest with you, most of the time now, I want my games to look better, and I want to be able to control them better, so I'll get them on PC. And it's not a PC Master Race thing. There's plenty of console games that are awesome. But anyway, my point is, it's poorly optimized for PC. And the games started on PC as well. So for a Ghost Recon game to be kind of poorly ported like this is kind of a little bit of an insult. So if I were doing the review, I wouldn't give it anything more than a worth trying. It's not a pile of shit either. It is fun. It's playable. I would give it a worth trying, but it's not a don't bother. I mean, if you're interested at all, you can totally check it out. I mean, it's functional, and like I said, it's fun. I'm actually genuinely having a good time, but there's too many flaws with it to give it a worth buying.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So let's actually talk about future of shooters, because we kind of tapped into this a little bit in talking about our two games that we've actually played. Where do you see shooters going with this grossly overcrowded market right now? And do you see the shooter as being a viable? I don't know. Do you see it as being a viable genre in 5 years?
Well, as long as it's making money, it's going to be a viable genre. But I think you hit on a good point earlier when you said that they are approaching, they converge on the same similar vein of gameplay so much that it's hard to distinguish yourself, and any flaws are magnified. But the interesting thing, if you're going to have very similar gameplay, then maybe you can do something interesting like what Blacklight is doing and change your business model. Because all these AAA titles, like I said, they're not only converging on the same gameplay, they're converging on the same business model where you sell the game up front and then you extend its lifetime by charging for 1 million DLC, maps, guns, skins, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't end. I hate it. If nothing else, Blacklight is still a solid game, but if it did nothing else interesting, the billing model does at least set it apart. I have to say that. It doesn't feel like it's one of those games where it's going to charge you, you're going to end up paying $200 just to get basic content like maps and stuff that you can't get any other way. It at least allows you to unlock content through playing the game.
Right.
You know, so I mean that I'm excited for at least that reason, and I think if the shooter genre is going to be going to stay around, really, it's going to be because of game engines becoming easier to use, small game studios becoming more experienced with game engines, and taking a stab at the bigger competition in the market. So, you look around, there are games like Neo Tokyo, which was a Steam a Source Engine mod that just kind of died out because of unfortunate circumstances, but it was really, really solid. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. It's Neo Tokyo. It's like a Ghost in the Shell inspired first-person shooter.
That sounds awesome.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic, and there's currently probably about one server running if you want to play it. But games like that are really going to push the envelope, and all it requires is one of them to get a big enough following, and for it to stay above water with regards to the number of people playing it at any given time.
Yeah. I got to admit, man, I think the future of shooters is interesting me less and less every day. I think that honestly, I think the biggest thing that has ruined shooters has been the existence of multiplayer, or this demand for every game to have a multiplayer kind of portion to it. Mm-hmm. I have to admit, I don't think I will ever buy another first-person shooter again unless I really want to play the single-player portion of the game. I'm never ever going to buy another multiplayer game. Like, sure, I'll play a review copy, but I won't go out of my way and spend my $60 on another Battlefield or on another Call of Duty. And there's a few big reasons for it. Like, clearly that's all they want. They just want to have these multiplayer games, like we said, to kind of cash in on these DLC packs and on all these map packs and skim packs and all this other kind of crap. But I wouldn't mind so much if they actually gave a crap about their product after the fact. Mm-hmm. And what I'm specifically talking about are the cheaters that are actually in these games.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, cheaters are the number one reason why I stopped playing Battlefield 2142, Battlefield Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, Call of Duty 4. Like, honestly, hackers are the number one reason why I stopped playing multiplayer shooters. And people say, oh, well, you can just ignore them and, you'll get better playing with them. Bullshit. I've paid the $60. I deserve the right to be able to play in a cheating-free environment. And if they're selling me a product, they need to be policing their product better. And all these companies do is they rely on Punkbuster, and I'm sorry, but Punkbuster is just a pile of shit for a program for cheating at countermeasures.
It doesn't really do the job, and
it doesn't do the job, and it throws up way too many false positives, so you get kicked from servers and everything like that. And this response right here, I know somebody will say this unless I say it right now. Somebody will say, well, why don't you join a clan and then go onto a clan's private server and play? Because I don't want to play that much. Like, I should be able to pick up the game like once a week and play, or once a month and play, and have a good, enjoyable experience knowing that the playing field is even, and the only thing that's separating everybody else is skill sets.
And I really, I agree with you. Obviously, you should be able to enter a public server and not be hit by, an amusing story. I told you this the other day. Kind of the reasons I got disenchanted with Blacklight after my first play session. Just getting used to it, got a good handle on how things worked. And I saw somebody get a mech suit, and how the mech suit works, you drop it, you summon it via an orbital drop, and it drops, and you get into it. It takes a second to get into it. I killed him right after he dropped it, before he could get into it, and I stole it. Not 5 seconds later, I get dropped from the server, my game crashes, I had to reconnect. My ping went from like 30 to 700 milliseconds.
Holy crap.
So I got lag spiked because I stole this guy's mech.
That's crazy.
It hadn't happened. That's the only time it happened. I played the game for about 10 hours. Only time it happened. 5 seconds after I steal a mech. Come on. you got to police your games. You can't rely on old. I mean, Punkbuster has been around since the original Counter-Strike.
Oh yeah, it might actually even be before then. I mean, if you actually look at, if you just go to the website for Punkbuster, it's laughable. It looks like it was designed back in 1993. It looks like a high school HTML project.
I'm probably gonna say that it was.
You
But I thought that, with obviously they're not operating on Steam. Blacklight isn't operating on Steam servers,
right?
Because, I mean, Valve anti-cheat is not the be-all and end-all, but
no, far
better than Punkbuster.
Oh yeah, a lot better. But here's the other thing, and like I said, I will buy another first-person. I will buy first-person shooters in the future if they focus on the single-player portion of it, and they promise like a good, worthy experience out of it. Like I know whatever the next Half-Life game is going to be, I'm going to buy it because all the Half-Lives up to now have been worth every second of it. In fact, I replay them every year.
Yep.
But the biggest thing that's really, really starting to drive me nuts about these companies, and this is the big thing that's really pushing me away, is the trust factor involved in it all. Everybody is kind of up in arms, and it's popular to kind of love it's popular to hate on Activision because they're the evil empire and blah blah blah, and Call of Duty sucks, and et cetera, and then everybody kind of turns a blind eye to it when EA and DICE do it. But the thing is, I actually feel more cheated by DICE and EA than I do by Activision and Call of Duty, because DICE came forward and said, we're never going to charge for, we're always going to have dedicated servers, we're never going to charge for map packs, et cetera, and then they go back on all of those promises.
Exactly, and you feel stupid.
Yeah, exactly, and I feel stupid. It's not that they did it. It's not. I realize it makes sense that they did it. They did it. It's profitable. People buy it, and they're like, oh well, if you enjoy it, you buy it. Whatever. That's fine. It's the fact that I believed them when they said it the first time, and then I feel stupid enough for having believed them in the first place. So it's not even. I don't even want to call it a trust issue. It's the fact that they made me feel like a stupid consumer, like they almost tricked me, so to speak.
You got the bait and switch.
Right. And so if I did that at an electronics store or I don't know, at a clothing store or something like that, I'd fucking never go back to that place ever again. And
Nope.
That's kind of how I feel right now.
Yeah, you can't hold them up to a different standard just because it's a different product.
Right. And come on. Don't give me some whining song about how they have to have this money to, I don't know, pay for server fees or some crap like that, or developmental costs. But still, EA is just crushing, while other companies are struggling. So I don't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Sell me a product, tell me exactly what I'm buying, and stay up to your end of your bargain, and that's it. And to be honest with you, if companies keep up this kind of crap, I don't want to say I'm done with first-person shooters, because I'll always play them, but I won't buy them unless they unless they promise a good first-person, a good single-player experience to them. Because multiplayer is it's dime a dozen now. Look at you. You're actually having a good, enjoyable time with Blacklight, and it's free.
Mm-hmm.
So, unless Battlefield 4 or Battlefield Bad Company 3 or whatever the next Battlefield game that they release will be, I see no need to buy it for the multiplayer. Like, zero. People will look back on this generation. They will look at us and say that is the generation where they beat multiplayer first-person shooters to death and DLC to death.
I hope you're right, and I hope they're going to say I hope they're going to say that everything peaked with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, because that's the absolute truth.
Yeah. Well, I got nothing else, man. I kind of feel like I've said my 2 cents. How about you?
I feel the same.
All right, great. Thanks everybody for kind of tuning in. Again, I'm really sorry about the absence last week. Just kind of had power outage. If you have any questions, you can feel free to send them to info@elder-geek.com. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at eldergeek.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Randy Yasenchak and Justin at Radio Free Gamer. Is that right? Is it Radio-Free Gamer or anything like that?
No, it's just Radio Free Gamer.
Yeah, you can follow me at Randy Yasenchak or Justin at Radio Free Gamer on Twitter. That should do it for me. Show, of course, is going to be back tomorrow. Well, of course, save another sickness or another outing or power outage or anything like that. But video reviews coming soon for Ghost Recon, Future Soldier, and I'm actually working on a couple of videos right now that are actually not in the video review kind of vein, but more in the video feature kind of vein, and I'm hoping that they do pretty well. But that'll do it for me today. Justin, thanks for hopping on, bud.
Yara, I'm gonna go hack some noobs in Blacklight.
Sounds good. All right, the rest of you guys, talk to you all tomorrow.